could this be the chance for Africa? As the Lions of Teranga, Senegal, fresh off their AFCON title triumph and knocking out Egypt in the qualifier, well, they start the list. Next come Iran, who had a very strong qualifying campaign in the Asian groups. Japan, too, enter their 7th World Cup in a row since 1998. Morocco next, the Maghreb nation hoping Achraf Hakimi can work some magic from right back. Then Serbia, they're led by Alexander Mitrovic. Poland by the mercurial Robert Lewandowski. And South Korea with star man Heung-min Song. And finally, Tunisia complete pot 3 after dispatching of Mali. Ruben, some individuals there leading the lines for their country. I don't know if you can say that they are teams which can progress all the way, but certainly they've got that one person, that one player that can make the difference in the game.
Yeah, and Senegal is the team nobody wants to play. That's for sure. Senegal is by far the best team in this spot, in my opinion. So I think that every team. I think that when you are a team in pot 2, for example, pot 1 is not that important. It's really important to not play Senegal from pot 3 because that's the team you don't want to play. There are some other interesting teams. Serbia they won their group in front of Portugal. And they have a really interesting generation, so I'm always looking forward to see them. And from the others, yeah, Japan is always they were sensational in the last World Cup. Really good football, so that will be interesting to follow. I think that if you're like I say, a team from pot 2 or pot 1, yeah, you would probably want to play Iran or Tunisia from this spot.
You agree? I mean, Senegal really are flying. We don't actually know what they're capable of with this golden generation, which is finally achieved under Aliou Cisse. As someone who follows African football intensely, what can we expect?
Senegal got to the quarterfinals in 2002, and looking at this team, Aliou Cisse, like you rightly said, has done great thing with this team. He was the captain. He was the captain of the Senegalese national team, and now he has gone as far as winning the trophy for them for the first time. I was at the presser when Sadio Mane said Aliou Cisse is the most criticized coach, but he has achieved a lot. Looking at how he has assembled this team, they've got players from Division 2, Division 3 here in France. A Parisian player that plays in the League 2, he managed to bring all these guys together and get the best out of them. They knew what was at stake, and they went all the way, to hot Egypt to pick this ticket. So I think, like Ruben rightly said, every team in pot 1 should be worried and scared. Like Senegal is going to hurt them. The Teranga Lions are coming to really roll them.
So imagine a pot then. We could possibly get France, Germany, Senegal. This is, something that I think would really
That's why we love football.
We hope. But at the same time, also Senegal has to speak out about it. Come on, this is their golden generation. They have to go through. Okay, we'll see who they will play. But this is such a good team. So many individual qualities. We have seen good football from them in the African Cup of Nations. But you also still had the idea that they can do better. They can still do better. I'm really excited to see them and hopefully get out of the groups because they can be that African team that can go really, really far into the World Cup.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of African teams in that pot 3. Simon, I want to come back to you. You went to you went to Cameroon rather, and witnessed the entire tournament. Obviously now we've got Morocco, Tunisia and Senegal in that pot 3. What are the African chances of making it far this time around?
Well, I have to agree with the other gentleman that Senegal is by far the team to watch out for in this tournament. Aliou Cisse has really drilled a potent team with some class players. Some of the best players are currently available in almost every position. You think of Mendy in goal, Koulibaly at the back, Sadio Mane, of course, goes without saying. You have Boulaye Dia, who plays for Villarreal in Spain as well. Perhaps the one thing that is missing for that Senegalese team is an out-and-out striker to really solidify the rest of the squad. But as Ruben said, and I must agree, Senegal need to up their game. They need to learn to put away opposition. For example, in their last World Cup qualifier against Egypt, we were at the game, France 24 were at the game, and there were too many times when Senegal wasted chances. And in a World Cup with so much at stake, that is when you're going to pay those chances. In terms of the rest of the African teams there, Morocco are going through a rebuilding period. Tough to say, just with Achraf Hakimi, is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Tunisia also don't have the strength and depth in their squad. I think it's going to be a very difficult tournament for Tunisia. I think African football in general has a lot to prove to itself. No team qualified for the knockout phases in Russia in 2018. Senegal were the ones who came closer. So this time around, it is going to be crucial that an African team does make it out of the group stages, particularly with CAF President Patrice Motsepe wanting an African team to win the World Cup in the coming years, in the coming editions, and really trying to push forward the African football agenda globally. Now, of course, that only comes if there is success on the international stage. So it is interesting to see, but apart from Senegal, I don't see much threat from the African nations going into Qatar.
That's a very good point, Simon, you made there about the African teams not succeeding in the last World Cup. Of course, we remember in 2010, all the way back then, Ghana just missing out on that semi-final spot, losing out with that tragic penalty to, missing out on that penalty. Asamoah Gyan blazing over the bar. I myself was actually right behind that goal when that happened. Obviously, we want those smaller teams, not, with all due respect, the teams who have not traditionally gone on to do well in the tournament. We want them to really shine. So what is it going to take just for, I guess, to see an underdog perform?
Quickly, I need to add this to what the gentleman said. I think an African team is ripe for the quarterfinals. Looking at how Cameroon got to the quarterfinals in the 1990, and also after Senegal, then we've got Ghana, like you rightly said. So I think Senegal is the team to just go to the quarterfinals, and we should watch out for them. So now, speaking about the underdogs, Japan could, looking at what how they qualified in the playoffs. So I think Japan will definitely do something, and also maybe South Korea. I'm looking at an Asian team to cause maybe something like a surprise in the
Have a bit of a replay of the 2002 semi-finals when South Korea did so well. Let's see if they can have that team cohesion, not rely too much on Hyun-Min Song.
Live up to that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely possible.